You were pretending to be a child to rob stores, weren't you? Well, Hannah, you're not getting out of here anytime soon.
Things went from bad to worse. I could only hope my parents would keep their word and get me out of there as soon as possible. The other hardened criminals must have decided I was a helpless baby to easily bully. Hey, midget, give me your pudding. But I showed them they were messing with the wrong person and quickly put them in their place. Who else wants my pudding? No one? That's what I thought. One day, I saw a weird inmate called Nicole while we were on a walk in the prison yard. She was huge and muscled like an athlete. Despite that, she was sobbing like a little girl. I want to go home to Dad. That piqued my interest. I came up to her and asked if she was acting like an idiot on purpose. I'm actually 14, but I look older than my age, and everyone thinks I'm already an adult. Holy heck! What are you in for? Nicole sniffed and told me her story. It turned out her father's new wife tried to leave her in an orphanage. Luckily, Nicole managed to escape from her evil stepmother. Unfortunately, she got lost in the city after that. I didn't have any money or my phone with me, so I just wandered the streets and waited for Dad to find me. But then I got hungry, and I stole some money to buy food. Nicole was caught and sent to jail. No one believes me when I say I'm only 14! I did. After all, our situations were similar. Nicole burst into tears and said she wanted to go home again. I felt sorry for the poor thing and I tried to comfort her. Hush now. I'm sure your dad will get you out of here in no time. Thank you. You're so young, but you're so brave. I confessed that I was an adult, and I only looked like a kid. From that moment on, Nicole started following me around like a lost puppy. That suited me just fine, because she looked formidable and scared the other prisoners away. Time went by. I kept waiting for my parents to come get me, but they never showed up. I was worried something bad had happened to them. One of the wards said I was going to spend years behind bars, and I realized it was time to get out of there. Come on, Hannah, use your brain. How does one escape from prison? I looked around and saw a ceiling vent that led outside. That was exactly what I needed. All that was left to do was figure out how to climb out through it. I need a ladder, or someone very tall. My eyes fell upon Nicole. At that moment, she was lifting a heavy bed to pick up the candy she had dropped like it weighed nothing. Wow, she was strong as an ox. I knew who would give me a leg up. When the security guards left for lunch, I asked Nicole to take care of the vent crate and lift me up. What if the cops get mad though? How about this? Help me escape and I'll find your dad and bring him here. She nodded happily and did as I asked. In a couple of minutes, I was already crawling through a ventilation duct. I was so close I could smell freedom. That's when I heard a weird noise behind me. I turned around and saw Nicole. Please don't be mad, Hannah. I'm sick of being here. Let's escape together and I'll find my dad myself. Dang it, that was not part of the plan. I had no choice but to take Nicole with me. Okay, let's hurry up before the guards notice we're gone. Soon, we got out of the building and hid in the nearest bushes. We should go our separate ways now. I'm going to my adoptive parents' mansion, and you should go home. I got ready to run, but Nicole grabbed my hand and started whimpering like a baby. I don't know how to get home. What if I get lost again and the cops catch me? Help me, Hannah. I rolled my eyes and quickly tried to come up with a plan. On the one hand, I wasn't Nicole's mom and I didn't need to take care of her. However, if they caught her, she might tell the cops where to find me. Heck, bringing her along was safer. We had to hide in bushes and sneak through alleys, but eventually we reached the mansion of Mr. and Mrs. Clark. My adoptive parents were shocked to see me, let alone my new friend. Hannah, have you escaped from prison? Yeah, surprise! Why didn't you bail me out?
The situation is more complicated than we thought.
They said they would hide us and they'd take care of everything. Honey, go to your room for now. We'll figure out what to do next. I took Nicole's hand and led her to my room. After changing, I gave her my mom's clothes. Only they fit her. I look like an old woman in this. Please don't start crying again. I can't take it anymore. I gave her ice cream and turned cartoons on. Then I decided to talk to my adoptive parents, but I heard a police siren. I looked out the window and saw cops driving up to our house. My parents walked into my room. I didn't like the way they were smirking at me. What's going on? Did you rat me out? You think you're so smart, don't you? We knew you were 21 right from the start. We overheard your conversation with Dr. House. That's why we adopted you, silly. They told me all about their cunning plan. It turned out they had framed me, all because they wanted to get money from the state using my fake ID. You're con men, even worse than me. So what? It's not like you could do anything about it. They walked out and locked the door so we wouldn't be able to escape. Luckily, Nicole came to my rescue. Like an angry bull, she easily knocked down the door and we ran outside. The cops saw us, but we we managed to hide from them in a park. Hannah, what are we gonna do now? Shh, I need to think. I was so screwed, but I didn't wallow in self-pity. Unlike a certain someone, I want to go home and eat and sleep. It hit me like a bolt of lightning. I would help Nicole get home, and her dad would be so grateful he'd let me stay with them for a while. I asked Nicole where she lived, and her answer put a damper on my excitement. Their house was far from the city. We didn't have enough money for bus tickets. The cherry on top was that I felt like I could eat a horse. Okay, I'll take you home. But first, we need to get some money. Of course, no one was gonna hire me because I looked like a schoolgirl. Nicole had to be the one to get a job. We walked into a diner that was looking for a dishwasher. Nicole, try to look smart. I'll do the talking. All right, yes, ma'am. And don't call me that. I came up to the owner of the diner and said that my aunt wanted to work there. He showed us a mountain of dishes that needed to be washed and left. Even though Nicole looked like an adult, she was just a child. So I turned on the TV and let her watch cartoons while I got down to business. By evening, I was exhausted. But at least we were paid. Nicole and I sat down at a table in the diner and I brought us dinner. It's delicious. Thank you, ma'am. I mean, Mom. I mean, Hannah. She burst into laughter, and I felt warm inside. For some reason, feeling like an adult and taking care of someone else was nice. Then, local news came on. The anchor spoke of a prison break, and then our photos appeared on the screen.
Call the police if you see them.
Oops, we couldn't stay at the diner anymore. I grabbed Nicole's hand, and we ran out into the street before anyone could recognize us. Hiding our faces, we reached the bus stop. Luckily, we had enough money for 2 tickets. An hour later, we were standing in front of Nicole's house. I'm gonna tell Dad that my stepmother tried to leave me at an orphanage. He'll totally lose it and kick her out. We walked in, and Nicole tried to hug her father, but he pulled away from her.
What are you doing here? I don't want to see you in my house.
It turned out leaving Nicole at an orphanage had been his idea. He was ashamed of his unusual daughter and wanted to start a new life with his new wife. Nicole burst into tears and I exploded like a pressure cooker. How could you do that to your daughter? That is so irresponsible.
Who the hell are you, Pipsqueak? Hold on. I saw you on TV. The police are looking for you.
He said he would call the cops on me and drive Nicole back to the orphanage. So, yeah, you guessed it. We had to run again. I grabbed Nicole's hand and we hurried back to town. I ran out of energy and ideas. It was dark outside. We hid behind a dumpster in an alley and decided to spend the night there. That's when I heard a familiar whistling. I looked out of our hiding place and saw Dr. House. Doc! Boy, am I glad to see you!
Who's there? I'm warning you, I know karate.
Oh, my back. It's me, Hannah.
Well, I'll be damned. What are you doing here?
He invited us to his place. We sat down in the kitchen and I told him all about our adventures.
So, you were adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Clark? I know those scammers. They wanted me to forge documents for them so they could get health insurance. I kicked them out of my office, though.
Doc told me my adoptive parents had made a fortune conning people. I smiled slyly because I finally knew what I could do. The next morning, I left Nicole at Dr. House's apartment and I got down to business. Soon, I was back at the mansion of my former parents. How dare you come back? Either you're very brave or extremely dumb.
I'm calling the police.
If I were you, I'd listen to my offer first. I know you're liars and love easy money. We're similar in that way. Don't you see? There's no need for us to be enemies. Let's work together and steal enough money to never work again. They looked at me incredulously at first, but then admitted they were going to rob a bank.
Actually, your little baby hands could come in handy.
After that, they smugly told me the details of their plan. Well, it seems like you've got it all planned out. There's only one problem. What problem? You won't be stealing anything because you're going to jail. I showed them I was wearing a wire. The police had been listening into our conversation the whole time. The cops soon ran into the mansion and handcuffed my so-called parents. Happy stay in prison, guys! I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't told you everything. After I left Dr. House's place, the first thing I did was go to the police station. There, I confessed that for years I had been pretending to be a child to live without worry. However, I also told them I had never stolen anything and I could help them catch even bigger criminals. So, the cops put a wire on me and sent me on a secret mission to the mansion. You already know what happened then. Soon, Nicole and I were cleared of all charges.
What are you gonna do next, Hannah? Do you want me to make you new fake documents so you can go to another city and live in an orphanage again?
No, Doc. It's time for me to grow up and take responsibility for my life. By the way, the police praised my efforts and said I could become a perfect undercover agent with my looks. After all, no one would pay much attention to a little girl. I decided to enroll in a police academy, and soon I found a good part-time job and rented my first apartment. Hannah, where should I put this flower?
Take it to your room, sweetheart. Oh, yeah. Did I forget to mention that I adopted Nicole? I had grown really attached to her. She showed me how great it could feel to take care of someone else. Now we're a weird but loving family. I brought you a housewarming cake.
Wow, I love cakes!
Nicole, where are your manners? What do we say?
Thank